Hey, it's Olga here from Degtyareva.com and Productivity for Scientists. This is where you overcome overwhelm, become more productive, get in charge of your day while feeling happy in your life. And the topic of today's video is when to sit down writing, on schedule or on inspiration. This is actually going to be a video series that I'm making on resistance that we all feel when we're trying to create something, either a piece of writing or a new project or change something in our life. Resistance always comes up. So I'm going to make a series of these videos, and it's all based on my inspiration that I got from this book I'm reading just now, The War of Art, by Steven Pressfield, who writes about this resistance that we all have when we're trying to create something. So today is about writing, and the question is, when do you sit down writing? When you feel inspired or on certain schedule? And I'm actually quite excited about talking about this, because you might have heard me saying, introduce a schedule, introduce a writing schedule, sit down at certain time of the day, on certain days of the week for a certain amount of time every day or every week for some of the projects, and just sit down and do the writing on schedule. On the other hand, you also heard me saying how inspiration is so important and how feeling good, feeling inspired is important for our work, because it makes our work so much easier. So here's a chance for me to bring those things together, and I want to read out the quote from this book, The War of Art. And this is, someone once asked Somerset Maugham if he wrote on a schedule or only when struck by inspiration. And he said, "I write only when inspiration strikes. Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp." Isn't it great? Isn't it funny as well? And this is the quality of a professional who really approaches his or her thing professionally. You write only on inspiration, but it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp. So how do you even achieve that state, and what is that insight? So this is where the writing schedule comes in, that you sit down, for example, let's say 9 o'clock in the morning. For some of you, it could be a different time. You sit every day, and the thing is that many of us think, oh, I don't feel like writing right now. I feel like my head is empty. I don't have any thoughts about my projects. Like, it could be a paper, a proposal, or a new project you're designing. And so what do we tend to do? We tend to browse the internet, or maybe look for the useful information, maybe even get busy with tidying our office desk, or even getting up and going around the department to run other errands, maybe drop something, pick up from the printers. So we get busy. And the problem is that inspiration can't come when we're busy. So, this is where this writing schedule comes in, where you sit down. And sometimes when I teach my private clients, when I work with them, we talk about this, and it's like sometimes you just sit and you appear to do nothing. You just sit there with your project or your paper open, and you just sit there, and we talk about focusing on your breathing and calming your thoughts down and being present. And sometimes it even requires, sometimes it appears that the whole period you didn't do nothing, but then you get up and you come and do it again. And sometimes you need to push through the perfectionism and just write and type imperfectly. So it's not about writing something good, it's about just writing something produce a bad draft. So this is sometimes how it appears, but then when you keep doing this, when you keep coming back at the same time, week in and week out, the inspiration says, she's serious, I better come and help her. That's what happens. And then at some point you feel like that you start to do it with inspiration. So this is how you can combine own schedule and inspiration. And I'm gonna complete this video by reading what Somerset Maugham shares, like a deeper truth about overcoming resistance when sitting down to write. That by performing the mundane physical act of sitting down and starting to work, he set in motion a mysterious but infallible sequence of events that would produce inspiration, as surely as if the goddess had synchronized her watch with his. So he says he knew if he built it, she would come. So the inspiration would come if you sit down and don't do anything but focus on your project, on your writing. The inspiration will come, even if it doesn't happen first or second time. On the third time, she will come and will keep coming back. All right, I hope that this demystifies what it means to write on inspiration, but then also follow a certain schedule. So here, the Productivity for Scientists assignment for you for this week is to just look at your calendar and schedule those writing rituals. It could be once a week for certain projects, or once a day, or twice a day, even if it's like a thesis and the deadline is very close. And you just sit down for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 days without feeling any inspiration, just focusing on doing your work, and then you start feeling that inspiration will start coming, and share your insights below this video. All right, this is all. I am back after recording this video that you just seen. I've realized that I probably mispronounced the name of the writer that I was quoting there, and it's more likely to need to sound like Somerset Maugham or Maugham. And I've just, I could have now reshooted the video, and I thought I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to use this mistake as an opportunity to just really show that I also make mistakes, as we all do. So just to be here a little bit vulnerable and really just say that, to be honest with you, I haven't had a conversation with anyone here about his work and about his books. So I would know how it should sound, but I've checked now on the internet, and that's probably the closest one, Somerset Maugham. But I do remember him from my childhood. It was in Soviet Union, in Russia, and I remember his books on the bookshelf in our house, and it was I'm just looking the English translation now, The Razor's Edge, The Moon, and Sixpence. And I remember those books still to these days on the bookshelf in our house. And I've just also checked the Wikipedia. What it says is that it was a British playwright and novelist. And he was among the most popular writers in his era, and reputedly the highest paid author during the 1930s. So he produced a lot. He obviously was a productive writer, so we can learn from his habits, and that was what the video was about, is to really share how he viewed when he needed to sit down writing. Okay, I hope it serves you, and I speak to you soon. Bye.